It is the Flow Friday Night Sports Show, and Gawler and District Softball getting to the pointy end of the season now. Preliminary final day coming up on Saturday, and that means last weekend we had our first week of finals action. Joining me on the line to help us go through what happened last week and who's playing who this week, Veg Ingram is back. G'day, mate. How are you?
Good, thanks, Jason. Good to be back on the air again. It's great to have you back.
Yes, it's good to be back, and sorry I've missed you the last couple of weeks, but it's nice to be back in the saddle and talking softball again. Some big games last week. The finals time always is. So 1 versus 2, 3 versus 4. They are the finals set up pretty much through most of the grades, I think.
That's right. The only grade that had just a normal round was the under-17s because there's only 3 teams in that grade. So they've got normal rounds up until the grand final where it'll be 1 versus 2. So that'll be the decider this weekend.
Okay. Well, let's have a look at the babies, the under-14s. They got to the semi-final stage, and in the 1 versus 2 clash, the winner going straight through to the grand final. We had a bit of an upset here.
Yeah, this was a very close game. So Trinity College versus Giants Black. It was a very high-scoring game with runs being scored throughout all the innings. We don't play by time, we play by innings. Multiple pitch changes, and it came down to the last innings with Giants just needing the third out to win the game. Trinity came back and scored 2 runs to win it 13-12. It was very close.
Wow, a big win for Trinity. So they go into the grand final, and Giants Black, this is why you get the double chance, because if you have an off day or you go down in a close one like that, well, you've got the double chance, right?
That's right, and they've been pretty dominating throughout the entire season. So this is their first loss of the season. So it's best to lose now than in the grand final. So I'm sure they'll be coming back a bit more humbled and ready to fight back this weekend.
No doubt. So they will be taking on Kangas in the prelim, which we'll talk about later on, because Kangas beat the Little Giants Red development side fairly comfortably in the elimination semi-final, right?
They did. So, as I say, they played innings, so the little guys weren't used to playing a lot longer than 1 hour. I think the game went on for about an hour and a half. They actually held Giants in the first innings. They got 3 outs and they scored 2 runs, which was great to see them improve. Kangas just dominated with the bat, and with the pitcher they had in this game, the Little Giants weren't used to seeing strikes, so they struggled a little bit. But, yeah, so 17-3 was the final score. So Giants read it out, and Kangas will go ahead and play this weekend.
They will, and we'll talk more about that game a little bit later on. You mentioned the minor round continued last weekend for the under-17s, and it was another tight clash. They are par for the course in the under-17s competition, but again, Trinity, good day for them. They were too good for Giants.
Yeah, that's right. It was another high-scoring game, and it was a race to see who will go into the grand final. As there's only 3 teams, as I said, the top 2 will play off for the premiership on the 26th of March. So Giants started by scoring 2 runs in the first innings to Trinity 7. There were some massive hits throughout the game by both sides, but Trinity managed to secure the win, 14-9.
Big win for them. So puts them in the box seat to probably play in that final match.
Yes, exactly. Yeah.
All right. We move to senior softball and the semi-finals there. Now, the Kangaroff, 1 versus 2 on the ladder in Division 2, was a one-sided affair. I don't think anyone saw this coming. They've drawn it once at least this year, but this was Kangas Grey dominating against Kangas Blue.
They did. They scored a couple of runs in the first 2 innings and then 5 runs in the third, and they just kept on piling the runs after that with some massive hits. There was some tight defence preventing Blue from scoring, so the final score was Kangas Grey 15, Kangas Blue 0.
Wow, did not see that one coming. A very high-scoring game in the other match as well, and it was 2 Wells in the end who defeated Giants in the end in almost a cricket score.
Oh, Jason, this was another high-scoring game. Actually, the most scored in the day, I reckon. Between both teams, 51 runs were scored.
Wow.
That home plate was getting a workout in that game, I tell you that.
In the end, though, 2 Wells, 32-19 winners. So despite all those runs, a relatively comfortable win, but I bet you didn't feel like that.
No, that game was the longest of the day, so that at least required the Division 1 game to be put out a little bit further. It started a lot later than what it normally would. But, yeah, it was definitely a high-scoring game, and Two Wells just came through the end. They kept winning by enough, and Giants kept catching up, so it wasn't enough to have called the mercy rule, and they just kept on piling the runs. And as you see, cricket score 50-run runs across home plate. That's crazy.
It certainly is. So they will march on Two Wells into a preliminary final. We'll talk about them in a moment. But off to the Division 1 semi-finals, 1 versus 2. It was Kangas taking on Two Wells. And look, Kangas finished on top for a reason. They were dominant here.
They did. So Kangas were the minor round premiers, and they continued the winning streak, defeating Two Wells 18-2. They scored 11 runs in the first innings, with Carline Hill hitting a monster home run. Two Wells tightened up the defence and only allowed them to score 7 runs for the rest of the game. There was some good pitching and defence from Kangas, and they just held Two Wells to 2 runs. So final score 18-2.
About as convincing as you get in a 1 versus 2 clash. But the interest was in 3 versus 4, the elimination final. And Giants, they took on Blue Jays here and did enough in another high-scoring clash. But to Giants, 17-11 winners. So Blue Jays' season is officially over.
That's right. They started strong with the bat, scoring 8 runs in the first innings, Giants only scoring 2. And with some good pitching and defence, Giants held Blue Jays the rest of the game to only score 3 runs. Giants came back swimming with some aggressive base running and big hits to secure the win. And
tell me, I'm led to believe you almost hit a grand slam in this game, but you decided to pull up at third base. Is that right?
Well, the coach held me up, and it was a good thing. I think I was running out of oxygen by then. I think in my younger days I probably would have made it home, but I got to third and scored some crucial runs, so I was happy about that. Absolutely.
I know you don't like pumping up your own tyres, but I had to make mention of that because that was a big hit, a big time in the game. So 17-11, only 6 runs in it, not a lot in it, but will you get your gun picture back for preliminary final day?
Yeah, so we've got a couple of pitches, and I think when you're going into finals, particularly where you're playing 7 innings in the games, I think the longest grand final I've ever been involved with went on for 4.5 hours. So you can't have the same person pitching all that time. It's just a bit unrealistic. So you need different pitches to come into the game for different batters or different situations and scenarios. So yes, we probably have some young pitchers coming in throughout the season, and they should hopefully be coming out in finals again to, break up the pitches throughout the game.
Okay. All right, let's have a look now at preliminary finals this weekend. So on Diamond 2, now there'll be 3 diamonds set up on the day, I believe, and you can correct me here if I'm wrong, but Diamond 2 at 9 a.m. we'll see the under-14s preliminary final, Kangas taking on Giants Black.
Yeah, so this is going to be at 9 a.m. I think we've only got 2 diamonds set up. We're no longer using the cricket pitch. It's just a bit unsafe due to the uneven surface and the watering. It's a little bit lacking at the moment. So we're moving down to Diamond 3, which is going to be played at the far end on Hillier Road side. And then Diamond 2 will be closest to Anglevale Road. So the little ones will be playing at 9. The Giant Blacks will be working hard to make it into the grand final after losing to Trinity next week, so that will be a good game to watch.
All right. At 11 o'clock, the last minor round match of the season in the under-17s, Kangas taking on Trinity, and Giants will be watching on with interest here, I'd imagine. These 2 sides are still pretty likely to face off the following week, aren't they?
Yeah, so this will be an interesting game, and that'll determine, I guess, who goes through to play in the final. So, as I say, 1 and 2 will go through, and whoever finishes third after this week will, miss out on the grand final.
All right. Division 2 preliminary final is penciled in to start at 2 p.m, and it is Kangas Blue, who copped a toweling last week from their Kangas Grey friends. They'll be taking on Two Wells, who put on a cricket score, as we talked about before. This should be a tight one.
It should be. So Kangas Blue have bet Two Wells the majority of times that they've played them this season, but finals are a different game, as you know. 7 innings is a long time, so Two Wells will be coming out, I think, from the win they had last weekend.
All right, and at 4 o'clock, the Division 1 clash between Two Wells and Giants. Your girls will be going in relatively confident that you can really push these guys.
Well, Giants will be playing Two Wells, and they were last season's premiers, so you can never underestimate. And playing finals, as I mentioned, is really different. And if you don't have players that have got finals experience, it does make it a little bit challenging. It's not just a quick 75-minute game. You have to pace, and you have to be strategic in how people are positioned in the batting lineup and who are the next batters coming up and how you position the field. So having finals experience, which is what two worlds have, will make it challenging for Giants. But Giants, as I say, won against Blue Jays last week, so they will be coming out firing. And I can't pick who's going to win that one. I know who I want to win, but I can't pick who's going to win that one.
It's going to be a tight one, that one. Carbeathan Reserve this weekend. Get there, watch the softball. And I think the men are still going at it as well. Is their finals underway yet?
So the men have their last minor round game tonight, and then they start their finals on this Sunday at 10 a.m. is the Division 3. So they'll be playing at 10 a.m. at Sunday at Manapara.
All right. So plenty of softball action across Gawler and the northern suburbs of Adelaide this weekend. Go and check it out. And Veg, good luck to you and your crew and to everyone having a hit this weekend in Gawler softball. We'll be talking about grand finals next week.
We will. So we've got a couple of things coming up as well, Jason. We've got the grand final on the 26th of March. We've got the Gawler District Softball Association Presentation Day, which is happening this Sunday, the 21st at 2 p.m. at Carbeathan Reserve for all members. We also finished the T-ball the other week. Trinity College ended up winning the Kerry O'Keel Spirit Cup. So Timber Art Sign and Trophies kindly donated a perpetual trophy in honour of the late Kerry O'Keel, who was one of the founders of the Gawler T-ball League. So it was fantastic to see them, great little smiley faces when they were running around the diamond having fun. But it was really great for Trinity to win that in Kerry's honour. And Jason, I'm very excited to say the South Australian state softball teams have been announced, and I'm very proud to say that Gawler has got quite a few players that are participating. So in the under-16 team, Zoe Dowdle from Trinity, Caitlin Holt from Trinity, and Talia Sutton from Giants have all been selected for the under-16 state team. And for the under-14 team, we've got Tara Lloyd from Trinity, Zoe Marich from Trinity, we've got Molly Rudiger from Two Wells, Asher Scott from Giants, and Sienna Sutton from Giants have all been selected for the under-14 team. I'm just so proud of these young, talented players that have come from our softball association and looking forward to seeing how they go, developing as softballers and being future role models for all our other junior players. So all the best for all our players that are representing the state.
Here. Well done. Congratulations to their coaches as well, to everyone that's been involved in their development, because lots of people have a bit of a hand in getting these kids up to the next level, and it all starts with good coaching.
That's right. And in fact, one of the coaches from last season has actually been, Matt Sutton's been selected as the under-16 assistant coach. And one of our, the coach from Trinity, Sue Norris, has actually been selected as the Stars, which is the elite South Australian team statistician. So it's great. We've got such awesome people coming from our association and contributing to softball across the state.
Sensational. Good stuff. Well, it's a good news story at the moment, Gawler softball. We'll keep in touch. Look forward to chatting with you next week, Veg. Good luck.
Fantastic. Thanks, Jason. Talk then.